welcome to another episode of the Edmonds Moms Room podcast. We are so excited to have our first beauty expert on the show. So we have Meghan Hoang. Welcome, Meghan.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
We are Vanity Lash Lounge, and we are just that. I mean, the core of our business is lashes.
Okay.
However, we are much more than that. We have a full range of aesthetic services. So we really want to be a one-stop shop for everything related to the face and the body, minus hair, essentially.
Okay.
You know, we've got a really cool beauty bar / med spa twist to us as well. We offer a wide array of skincare services, and the skincare services we offer are stemming from the medical side of things, because that's what my background is in as an esthetician. So we have medical grade skincare and treatments. We have Botox and filler events. We have fibroblast, which is kind of more of a results-oriented medical type of procedure. And then we have full body, hair removal,
Cool.
nails, all sorts of fun things that all pertain to just taking care of yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Okay,
we'll
great.
go into detail a little bit if you're
Yes.
cool with that. So tell us why you started Vanity Lash Lounge and kind of
The
the
background
mojo behind it.
Yeah. Well, ever since I was literally able to walk, I was interested in beauty. It was just something I was born with. I was very drawn to just fashion, and I was always, we have pictures of me doing everyone's hair and all sorts of hairstyles, and I had my own salon business cards when I was 5. I gave my grandmother a bang trim when I was 5.
Nice.
She had the audacity to be upset that it was crooked, but that's what you get for letting a 5-year-old cut your bangs.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of proceeded from there to where when I was a teenager, I actually had really bad acne. Really bad. And it really affected my self-esteem. And I became consumed with kind of learning how to conceal it. And then I would spend my allowance money every weekend when I'd go on visits with my dad to Bartell's or the drugstore of any kind. And I would be buying products and reading the beauty magazines. And basically I was my own experimentation process. And so I became really fascinated with kind of learning how the skin works and what it responds to. And I was really interested in becoming a makeup artist because that had to do with the artistry of the face. But I soon learned that there is really no direct route for that whatsoever. Very difficult. There's no set, okay, you go to school and then you get a job here. So then I thought, well, my next best, case scenario would be cosmetology, going to do hair. And when I went to register for hair, or the cosmetology program, they had mentioned, oh, we have a brand new program. It's our esthetician program. I had never even heard of what an esthetician was. And so when I asked about what it was, they informed me it was skincare and hair removal and basically everything to do with the face. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. This is it. I can learn more about skin and I can actually help others with it. And I thought there's just nothing better than that. So I embarked on my aesthetic program and the journey began. And back then when I would say what I did, people would say, Esta, what? Nobody knew what it was. Mm-hmm. So here I am 19 years later, and it's a really popular thing nowadays. But I've been on a long journey and worked in many different facets of the industry.
Cool.
Like I said, primarily I was working with plastic surgeons for a number of years. And so I gained a lot of insight and extra additional knowledge about the skin through that avenue. And through working in different areas of the industry, I really gathered a very good comprehension of what it is that, people are looking for, and really fell in love with, it wasn't just about doing a beauty service, truly. Mm-hmm. It was so much more than that. It was making somebody's day and serving them that just bit of happiness that I really fed off of. Cool. And so lashes came about into my world. They've been out far longer than 2008, but it was not a perfected service. And so when they came to my attention in 2008, that's when the economy was kind of going down a bit. And people were not so interested in, buying laser packages or facials when they're trying to hang on to their home.
Yeah.
So I had to innovate, and I had to think, what can I do that creates a repeat, frequent business that people are really drawn to keep up? Because I have a lot of friends in the industry who are hairdressers, and they seem to be doing just fine. Maybe people were pushing it out a little longer, their haircut or their color, but they were still making that little portion of the budget to do that.
Yeah.
And so when I learned about lash extensions, I learned that indeed was the ticket for me as an esthetician. Cool. Because once people see those lashes, you never quite feel the same without them. And it is that little splurge that, it does require maintenance. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely like the start of my journey with lashes, and I really fell in love with that artistry aspect of it.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I experienced them when I was getting married,
yes.
lashes in general.
Yes.
And it was not a great experience. I probably need to try again because I see it and it looks amazing when people are so filled in.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Cool. Like, don't have to wear mascara. That's
right.
nice.
Yes.
But what I love is, we work with pregnant moms and postpartum moms, and when you feel so disheveled, but then still, like,
100%.
You don't have to put your makeup on and you still feel, like, a little done, right?
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say, it just seems so high maintenance to me. But the thing of it is that, for one, you can look as natural as you want or as glamorous as you want. There's really all different types of looks you can create, so you don't have to be crazy glammed or, anything like that. You can go very natural. But the thing of it is that it's actually a lower maintenance deal to get lashes than it is to deal with mascara every day, because really you're spending 1 hour where you get to lay there, relax, and be pampered, and then you're good for 2 to 3 weeks.
Is that all it takes?
That's all it takes. And it's on a day-to-day basis. I mean, you're up, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And when extensions are done the right way, you have a good experience. It's not damaging to your lashes whatsoever when it's done the proper way. And that's why it's really important to go and pick a place, research that they really prioritize the health of your lashes before you go there. Because if you don't go to the right place, you can end up having a bad situation or having damage. And so...
can we hold on to that for a second?
Yeah,
like, what would you say to someone like me who had, like, an itchy, annoying experience?
Yes.
And it was my wedding, so it was, like, that week.
That's a bummer.
I probably should have tried it before.
Yeah. Well,
but, how would you get me to try this again?
Yes. Well, I would just let you know that, for one, if you ever have a special event, especially your wedding, and you want to try lashes, you should do it, we say, like a month ahead.
Okay.
To make sure that this is something for you and that we can kind of get them customized to your look and get everything really full before that special day. Or in the case that you didn't like it for whatever reason, it wouldn't be affecting your special day.
Cool.
However, what I would say to someone like you to try it again is that you truly, if you felt them at all, if you felt any sort of poking or heaviness or twisting or turning, things of that nature, it just probably was not done right, truly. Because when it's done correctly, they are weightless, and it's just going to feel exactly like your eyelashes. You're not going to notice any difference.
Nice.
So I would say that was just one of those things that, probably just didn't go to the right technician or the right place, and so, give it another try with the right
I like it.
person.
Yeah. No, that's nice. It's not like, some people have been like, well, maybe you're allergic to the glue or other things.
Yes, but that does happen, but it's rare that somebody would be allergic right off the bat, because eyelash extension allergies are actually an acquired allergy.
Oh, okay.
So it's something, unless you have a diagnosed like adhesive allergy, say you get reactions from Band-Aids or medical tape or whatever, you are not likely to be having an allergy from the eyelash extension glue, because it is one of those things from repeated exposure that you acquire the allergy.
Okay, so there's hope.
There's hope. So if you felt the itching and all that, it was probably just bad application.
Okay, so, that's good. It probably was.
Yeah.
It was not a fancy place, I'll tell you that.
Yes. Don't bargain shop for your lashes, ladies. Do not bargain shop, because it's not worth it. Yeah.
Is it ever right? What you pay for? Well, cool. So I guess I got sidetracked on the lashes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking too much.
No, it's great. Keep sharing, please. I want to know about a few things.
Yes.
Can I just ask you?
Go
and then
for it.
You can side rail wherever you want to go. Tell me about microblading.
Okay. So microblading is a form of Micropigmentation. So we are depositing ink underneath the first few layers of skin. So it is similar to tattooing in that sense because we're depositing pigment. However, this is done with a hand tool, and this hand tool creates very realistic, thin, crisp, hair-like looking strokes. So you can get hair stroke looks with an actual tattoo gun, with the traditional, permanent makeup. They can try to create hair strokes, but they're not going to look as natural. They're much more thick. The pigment is deposited more deep into the skin. So it's not quite as realistic looking. So that's where all the rage and the excitement came with microblading, because it was just so much more realistic, more natural looking, really mimicking the look of a hair. And so it's one of those things people often wonder, is it permanent? It is potentially permanent, and it's potentially not permanent. So there's no clear definitive answer on that, and I'll tell you why. Everybody's skin is different, and it also, again, depends on where you go. The person performing the procedure could potentially be going deeper into the skin, and so that might make it last longer, if not potentially forever. Or there's some skin types that just really kind of have a high turnover rate, and they're maybe oilier, things of that nature, and so it doesn't hang on to the ink very well.
Interesting.
So I would say be prepared, if you are going to do it, that you could potentially have it forever. But it's typically one of the things that we have you, it's a 2-part process. We have you come for the initial procedure, and I like to compare it to building a house. We're laying the foundation and the bones of the shape, and we're giving you those beautiful brows that day. But then we have you come back 6 to 8 weeks later. Due to the healing process, the skin cells kind of turning over, and we are depositing it more shallow than a traditional tattoo. You could have some areas where it's a little bit splotchy, a little bit faded. So we like to have you back, and we do an enhancement session where we just kind of build on top of that, kind of fill in and kind of perfect everything. And so at that point, you're good for typically a year to a year and a half before you're needing just a single touch-up to kind of refresh that pigment. But like I said, some person could never get a touch-up again after that initial process and still see some semblance of that procedure done. Some people could never get a touch-up and it would fade away. So you have to be prepared that you could potentially have something forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pardon my ignorance on this question.
Oh, no.
Do you shave the eyebrow then?
Okay, no, we do not shave it. And,
okay,
it's
so
not
I can
ignorance.
keep my eyebrow
yes,
and then
you keep your eyebrow.
Okay.
A lot of people actually ask that, and
Yeah.
they think I'm going to shave off their brow. No,
Yes.
we want to work with whatever natural hair you have.
Cool.
However, sometimes the natural brows that we're born with aren't the most flattering shape for our face.
Okay.
So that's what's really cool about this, because makeup, you really have to follow your natural hairline or else you're going to look a little crazy. So with this, it's really cool because we can kind of reconstruct certain parts of the brow and make it look more flattering, but still utilize your hair and kind of maybe tweeze little areas that maybe we don't need it. But yeah, you're keeping your brows.
Nice.
We're just adding to them. We're making them better.
I always I checked that off the list of not going to do because I thought they shave your brows. I really did because I've seen
funny.
people
Well,
with
I'm glad I was
very
able to
little.
clear that up for you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, if you do
And-
see people who have it done, who have
Yeah.
very little hair, it's just because they probably initially either didn't have very much hair for whatever reason, or
Okay.
maybe they were somebody that overwaxed, over-tweezed, and
Okay.
when you do that, it doesn't always grow back.
Okay.
And
Could
so-
you fix an asymmetry?
Yes, I do that all
Okay.
the time.
Oh,
I always
cool.
joke that I'm doing brow plastic surgery,
Okay.
literally, because there's so much asymmetry that I'm correcting, and there's so much more in depth with the face that it really does balance out. And
Nice.
it's
Okay.
like a facelift. I always tell people,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the cheapest facelift you could ever get because it really brings balance, symmetry, and just draws everything up.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And for everyone else.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit more about what you guys offer. I mean, I'd love to know about the collagen fillers, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Botox and filler, people are always, having questions about that. People are, I think, a little confused as to what does what. So Botox is considered a neurotoxin. And a neurotoxin, what it does is it basically paralyzes or stops the movement of particular muscles. So you're going to get a relaxation of certain areas of expression, like the lines that are created from animating in the face. So when we, raise our eyebrows or we squint when we're smiling, things like that, which are normal, beautiful movements. However, over time, what's happening is those movements are breaking down the collagen in the skin. So by stopping the movement in those certain areas, and you're still able to express, you don't look frozen, you don't look crazy, you're still able to express, but by kind of hindering that a bit, what happens is the skin smooths out, and then you're able to actually preserve the collagen in that area rather than having it break down. So it is one of those things that is preventative as well as corrective, and we highly recommend that once you start to notice really that first fine line kind of starting to get etched in there, that's the time to do it. You don't want to wait, like some people think, I don't want to start that now, I'm too young, this and that. You're really better off starting it early because you'll require less, and it will actually kind of stop time and preserve that collagen in the skin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the breakdown in collagen.
Yep. I always compare it to like a piece of cardboard. If you had a piece of cardboard and you're kind of bending it in half over and over and over, you soon develop that crease where the cardboard is broke down. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with our skin. Then that collagen, and now that crease is there. Yeah. So it's not one of those things that's like if you were to do it and then decide you don't want to do it, you're stuck doing it. It's not. You could just stop and it just gently, wears off. It's nothing noticeable. Mm-hmm. It's something you can do on your lunch break. Nobody would even know you did it. There's no change in the way you look. You just look smoother and younger for longer. And then
that's a good selling point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the fillers, those...
I'm playing devil's advocate because
Sure.
I love self-care. I love to do certain things for myself, but I'm more conservative on what I do as far as permanent wise. So Botox is not permanent.
Correct.
Not
permanent.
Tell me, just scare me, I guess, you're adding a toxin to your system, right?
Right.
And I refer to people for Botox for spasticity when there's that problem.
Yeah.
But tell me Botox as a cosmetic, the dangers.
Yeah. They do always, like anything, there's, potential side effects. Potential side effects is if you didn't see somebody who really knew what they were doing. I mean, you could have areas of the face that are paralyzed that you don't want paralyzed. I mean, there's extreme cases that, I'd actually have to read the little leaflet, but I've never ever witnessed or known to happen.
Cool. So you've never seen that
I've
kind
never
of stuff.
seen that. And, this is something, it is the most popular cosmetic treatment in America, and it has been for several years.
Get out of here. I did not know that.
Yes. And with that being said, it just goes to show how truly uncommon the negatives are.
Yeah.
And it's been used medicinally for so long before it was ever applied cosmetically. So it really is very safe. They've done studies, it does not enter your bloodstream. It is staying localized in that muscle. Mm-hmm. And then your body just kind of the muscle receptors start kind of waking up and coming back, and it's gone. So it's not like you've got a toxin pumping through your body. Mm-hmm. It's really safe.
So when you have people come back for Botox, is it every few months, or what do you guys...
Yeah, typically it's every 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Okay, thank you. Now move on to fillers.
Okay.
Tell us all.
And fillers. So fillers are exactly that. They're meant to fill. They're meant to add volume. So if you had any hollows in the face, say under eye hollows, if you as we age, our cheeks begin to kind of flatten out and kind of start dropping, and we kind of need that youthful volume restored back in the face. So if you wanted to add cheek, and then, who doesn't look good with a little extra lip, in my opinion? I think everybody looks prettier with just a little fuller lip. Just a little. Doesn't have to be crazy. And a lot of people are scared of that because they're afraid, I don't want to look like I have big lips. I don't want to look like duck lips. I don't want to be, having people like, oh, she got her lips done. Again, it's just like lashes. You can go as natural as you want or as glamorous as you want. It's really based on what it is you express you want. So you can do really minuscule bits and, look very natural.
Neat. Okay. How long does that last?
So it depends on the filler. There's different types of fillers, and really it's for different parts of the face that they will, the nurse will decide what is best. But on average, it's anywhere from 6 months to all the way up to 1.5 years, depending on which one they use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What do they use for lips?
Lips, it's Juvederm most of the time, and that's usually about up to 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is so fun. I just kind of want to go sign up for some services right now. tell me some of like your hot things or
Yeah.
what's new for
Yeah.
you guys.
Well,
that
we've got some really cool new hot stuff.
Cool.
One of the things that I really take pride in is just always having Vanity be cutting edge. Like I said, offering more than just lashes. So we have Fibroblast, our Fibroblast service, which is, it's a really, really neat procedure meant to tighten the skin. So as I said, I previously worked for plastic surgeons. I've worked with a lot of lasers. I have a lot of laser background, and a lot of those lasers were kind of, trying to tighten the skin and kind of create more of a youthful look. And those lasers are using heat and energy to stimulate collagen production and therefore hopefully tighten the skin. And with that, I saw really variable results. The difference with Fibroblast, which got me so excited, is that we are using energy, essentially. It's like a little heat energy. It's plasma energy. Think of like the sun, plasma energy. So we're utilizing plasma energy, and we are creating little controlled wounds on the surface of the skin. And what it does is it essentially is, it sounds scary, but it's not. It's kind of evaporating little tiny areas of the surface of the skin. And so by doing that, we are triggering the dermis to create more collagen and stimulate that collagen production. But more so is that this is similar in the sense to if you were to have like a minor surgical procedure, because we're removing actual little portions of the skin. So when you do that, then what happens is the skin needs to close in on those wounds and heal tighter. And that tissue that we injured and evaporated is gone. So that's what gives a real true tightening effect, because we're actually getting rid of excess skin. We're not just trying to create new collagen. Mm-hmm. We're getting rid of excess skin and creating collagen. So you're really getting a true tightening effect.
Where are people doing this?
Yeah, so people are doing it, literally anywhere you can think, as far as like they're doing upper eyelids. So it's kind of like a soft surgery, like a eyelid surgery, because that tissue's gone and it lifts it.
My mom will love to hear that.
Yeah. We're doing like nasolabial folds to kind of help, lift that little area there. Those would be your smile lines. Sorry, I shouldn't use my too technical terms. People are like, what are nasolabial folds? Those are your smile lines.
I was thinking labia vagina, because that's what we do
and
here.
that sounds very
so
very similar.
I was like, okay.
I was like, I should clarify.
Yeah.
But the areas that we've been having a lot of fun treating lately is particularly the neck. We've had incredible neck results. The tightening you get, it's like a mini neck lift. Minus the risk, minus the downtime, and the cost. The other area that I think is especially important for new moms to know is the belly button. We get those sad, wrinkly belly buttons. And in fact, I see it on the cover of your newsletter right now. I was like, oh, Fibroblast could help that. It literally just completely restores and tightens up that skin and minimizes the look of the stretch marks. I plan on doing it on myself, as I just had a baby, and now my belly button has a little frown.
Does it leave scar tissue?
And so it does not leave any scar tissue.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
So it is very, very cool.
Yeah.
And so the tummies and the necks we're having the most fun with right now. But people can even do the crepey arms. We can do the knee. All sorts of areas. It's kind of endless. Wherever you think you want to tighten or get rid of excess skin. Mm-hmm. So that is a really, really cool procedure that we're really, really excited about right now. And we are about to launch something very cutting edge in the next week or two.
Ooh, are you going to share?
Yes, I will share. It falls under the category of cryotherapy.
Okay.
So similar to, many of us have heard of cool sculpting. Mm-hmm. So it's utilizing, very cold temperatures to manipulate the body's processes and functions. And so we are going to have several services that fall under this cryotherapy category. So one of the services is Beverly Hills body contouring. So it's similar to cool sculpting in that sense that we are using these cold temperatures. I have a machine that is like a little wand, and we are focusing that cool temperature in the area to be treated. And what it does is it actually freezes those fat cells into little crystals that essentially burst, and then they are moved into the lymphatic system and emptied out through the body. So, and that's essentially how cool sculpting works as well. The difference between the two, cool sculpting has a little head, and it has a vacuum essentially. So this vacuum, this suction needs to kind of suck up into the head of their device, and it's on there, and it's kind of intense. And so a lot of people can have some discomfort with that. And if the area you want to treat doesn't really fit into that head, you can't treat it. And it requires several sessions, and it's quite pricey. So the way that this differs is that it's more customizable because I have a wand that I'm able to utilize really wherever the body wants to be treated. And then there isn't that suction, so we have a lot less discomfort. People are measuring different from the beginning of the service to the end of the service immediately.
And does it last?
And it lasts. It is permanent, just like cool sculpting. So
okay. So what cell are you like? Is it subcutaneous or what?
So it is the subcutaneous fat. We
Okay.
can't treat those deeper,
Yeah.
dense, fibrous layers of fat. But it is that subcutaneous fat that we all can pinch. We have in certain areas that we don't like.
Yeah.
We are treating those areas. And a lot of my people I've been working on already, they've lost 2 inches in 3 sessions.
Wow.
So it's pretty exciting. With cool sculpting, you're having to do several sessions, and it's, like I said, more expensive. So this one you're doing 5 sessions. It's 1 session every 2 weeks to complete your package, essentially. And it's pretty much the cost of like 1 cool sculpting session. So
Nice.
with a really nice result. And then we can utilize this same cryotherapy device to help to tighten the skin and create collagen. So we're doing facials. We're doing what we call our red carpet cryo facial, and it's really lifting, smoothing, firming, reducing the
nice.
pores, giving you this really nice glow. Or potentially people that have like kind of maybe cellulite and loose skin issues, this really helps with smoothing out that cellulite. So some really, really neat cryotherapy services.
Yeah. I want to sign up right now.
I know, right?
For
And
yeah.
the fun one is we are having one called the Playboy Booty Lift.
Ooh.
We can actually do a non-invasive booty lift.
Okay. So
So-
people can come here and
Yeah.
get their glutes actually like muscular worked, and then you can do the lift.
Yeah, so it's, yes, exactly. It goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
We need to work all the different layers, so that's
Yeah.
that's really your best bet. Because we're doing the slimming basically underneath what
Okay.
they call the banana roll area, on the back of the thigh, underneath the cheek. We're slimming that area down with the slimming portion, getting rid of that fat pocket, so then it kind of makes the bum look a little plumper, a little juicier. And then we're utilizing the skin tightening in a certain motion and direction with the skin. And so it's basically kind of creating lift and defying gravity. So it's a really nice way, because it's all the rage right now, the Brazilian butt lift.
Okay.
But that requires surgery and downtime, and this is a really cool way to
And tons
make
of
the
scar
most
tissue.
of your...
Like,
exactly.
Lots
Tons
of other issues that I think
lots
people don't.
I agree.
So.
I agree.
Yeah,
So
that's cool to
This
have
is
like
a
a more
really neat-
conservative method that's not going to
Exactly.
have lasting effects when you're like 10 years down the line.
exactly. I don't think people are
So.
thinking about that right
Yeah.
now when they're doing those other
Right,
ones.
right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so many questions.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm like the butt lift. That's nice.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I like to give them fun names. I don't
Yeah.
know. It just makes it fun, and you get what what that service is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. This is a side note, but what's
Yes.
like the age range of your clients?
That's a great question, and I get that question all the time. And really, there is no like cut-off point. We have some girls who are truly they're still in high school, and they're getting lashes and starting their skincare habits, which is great. And then we have some women. I mean, I did a lady who was 80 years old, and we did her eyebrows, for instance, and she was just over the moon. It was the sweetest thing ever, because she had just always wanted eyebrows her whole life. And her husband had passed away. She'd been caring for him for many years. And this was like a treat to herself. And it was just the cutest thing ever. Like, she was just so happy. So there's really no, nobody that's too young.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's too old. Basically, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be your best self.
Yeah.
There's really nothing wrong
Where
with
was
that.
this when I was in high school? I was at the tanning salon.
Nobody has awkward phases in high school these days. It's really unfair.
Really?
Because they have access to all of this stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
YouTube is like teaching them how to avoid it altogether, and it's just not fair. I think
Okay.
everyone needs to go through that awkward stage.
That's good.
But these days, they don't have to. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
a few other things.
Sure.
So I'm considering some laser hair removal.
Yes. Okay.
Tell me what I like. What do I look for? Yeah. What do I need to know? Why would I do it versus just be super lazy and like not shave? You know,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. For one, I'm looking at you. You're a blondie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Laser hair removal, now dependent on the area you're looking to do it, isn't going to work well on blonde hair.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. So the hair does need to be dark in color for it to work effectively. Okay. You also want to have a contrast in color between the hair you're treating and the skin you're treating. So best candidate would be somebody super duper porcelain pale white with really dark hair. Because this laser is looking for color. It is seeking color, and that's what the energy is targeted at. Okay. So if that hair does not contain color, it's basically not going to really see it and absorb that energy and be effective. On that note, if somebody has darker complected skin and they have that dark hair, the skin and the hair is going to be competing for the energy of the laser, and you could potentially get some negative side effects with the happening to the skin.
Okay.
So one thing I really like to promote, sugaring. Okay. Hands down, somebody who actually has had laser hair removal done. I have had waxing. I have had sugaring. Hands down, sugaring I have enjoyed far more, and I'll tell you why. I am tending to be on the blonde side, so even though I had some result, I didn't have a full result from the laser. Laser's very painful. Like, very painful. It's hard to endure. It's quite costly. The sugaring, on the other hand, has provided long-term hair reduction for me, similar, if not better, than the laser. Okay. And it's rejuvenating my skin. So every time I go, I'm getting a really nice exfoliation. It is good for the skin, and I am getting long-term hair reduction results because it's damaging the follicle just like a laser would do. That's essentially what the laser is doing. It's damaging the follicle so that we're not regrowing that hair. Sugaring is actually also damaging the follicle. So pretty soon you have less and less and less hair growing back. What you do have growing back is very fine, and it's far more cost-effective and less painful. So I'm a real advocate, having experienced all of it.
I appreciate your honesty with that. That's so great.
Yeah.
I've had sugaring, and I like it. I'm going to come try your services for sure. But tell me, so if you were going to sugar an armpit,
right?
Just curious.
Yeah.
How far do you need to grow it out?
That's the neat thing, is with sugaring, you really don't need as much length. Okay. Which is what makes it more doable than, say, waxing. Okay. You know, and nothing wrong with waxing, but waxing you do need a certain length. So it's kind of a bummer to have to wait, until it gets a little long, you know. Yeah. With this, you really need about maybe 1/8 of an inch of hair there, and it can grab it because it's grabbing the hair differently. It's actually going into the follicle, and we're removing the hair in the direction that it grows. So you're not getting the breakage or potentially the ingrowns that can be caused from like waxing. Because waxing, you're going opposing of the hair growth direction. So sometimes you can get breakage and sometimes you can get some ingrown. So sugar actually kind of goes into that follicle and pulls it out gently in the direction it grows.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anything? I feel like I've talked way too much.
No,
I get excited?
It's so good
because this just goes to show I'm too passionate, and you get me going, and I talk.
No, I appreciate it because I feel like I am probably your perfect client. That's like a little bit just like self-neglected over here and needs to like make some appointments. Yeah. So that's great.
Well, we'll have you in.
Great.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy to be in.
Yeah.
I will sign up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll get other people. I better get in before we release this podcast. So anything else that you want us to know that's exciting? New cryotherapy stuff?
Yeah, just the cryotherapy, just watch out for it. We're launching it in the next week. It's going to be really exciting. We are going to be having an event. We're just now trying to nail down the date. We're going to be having a big event, end of November, potentially very first week of December. And it's going to be really exciting, introducing and demoing the cryo for people who may be on the fence or want to see it in person. Okay. And we'll have some special deals going on. And we always have our Botox and fillers event, every month going on. And when you come to our events for Botox and filler, they are better pricing than what you would experience if you went to an actual, plastic surgeon or med spa. We're doing party pricing, essentially.
Nice.
So every time, so it's a better deal. But at Vanity, all of us are really passionate about really taking care of everyone that walks through our doors and putting a smile on their face and making them feel their absolute personal best. And that's what it's all about. And everyone that works at Vanity is really passionate about that. So
Well, thank you for being here and sharing this with us.
Yeah,
nice
thank
to
you for
meet
having us.
The Edmonds Moms Room podcast is brought to you by Body Motion Physical Therapy. We help women through pregnancy and beyond so they can live active, confident, and healthy lives.